You live to the pictures that we have, the latest from that school along Ngong Road that we understand is a two-story building that students are already in class, and we're just looking at what's happening. You can see that the rescue mission is on the ground trying to do as much as they can. What we know is that the Red Cross teams like my colleague said, that have arrived at the scene, and pupils were reportedly in the classroom. Of course, being 8:35, you'd expect that the learners had already had just got into their classrooms and going through their morning preps, and now they were preparing for the start of the day. But unfortunately, this is what they get to. So the efforts being made there to rescue as many students, pupils as possible. We're still waiting on information to know how many learners were in that classroom, and how many would have been rescued already. And in as far as the situation as it is, you can see the construction there. We're still waiting to see the information on how those being rescued are being attended to. But as we said, the Kenya Red Cross teams are down on the ground trying to do that. When we are sure, as soon as we know where they are being taken, we'll be sure to tell you that. A classroom, this is according to St. John Ambulance, saying that a classroom wall has fallen with pupils inside at the Goreti corner. St. John Ambulance at the scene, casualties being stabilized and evacuated to get the Kenyatta National Hospital so that they can be attended to. So you can see the workmanship that had gone in there. We do not know what led to that collapse. We'll be sure to get details as soon as we can get. We can probably take a listen to what the events are there on the ground. All right, those are the live pictures from the Precious Talent Top School along Ngong Road that we understand a wall collapsed, and of course that's the aftermath, the rescue mission. The first responders getting to attend to the situation. The information we have from the Kenya Red Cross is that teams are on the ground. The St. John Ambulance teams are also on the ground, and they are rescuing the learners who are there, taking them to Kenyatta National Hospital. As soon as we have more information on where others are being taken, we'll be sure to bring it to you. But you can see, like I said earlier on, the situation of the materials that had constructed that house. We'll be sure to get information on how many learners were in that class, and what exactly triggered that fence to go down. As much as it has gone down, we would want to know what was the problem, in as far as was it a question of workmanship, or was it any eventuality that would trigger such kind of an event. But we'll be sure to get the details. As we say that the breaking news that we're receiving this morning from Precious Talent Top School. All right, like I said, we are still waiting to see how many learners have been rescued from there, and in as far as that is concerned. So a very unfortunate incident happening this morning as learners were preparing to get into the classroom and continue their learning, being the first day of the week, and we wait to see the impact of this two-story building that went down, collapsed this morning, of course triggered by the wall, according to the stories that we have. And I want us to take a look at some of the tweets that are coming through. As I said earlier, from the St. John ambulance, a classroom wall has fallen with pupils inside at Dagoretti Corner. St. John ambulance at the scene, casualties being stabilized and evacuated to the Kenyatta National Hospital. The tweet that came through would show you some of the learners that were rescued a few minutes ago. I want to take a look at what the Kenya Red Cross are saying on Twitter, so that this is a classroom with pupils inside collapses at a school along Ngong Road, Nairobi. Red Cross and EMS Kenya response teams are at the scene. Details to follow. That's in accordance with what the Kenya Red Cross has to say. But again, those are the live pictures. Of course, first responders alongside the what do you call it them? The professionals, that is the Kenya Red Cross, as well as the St. John ambulance and others, joining with the teams on the ground to go through the, what do you call it, debris that is on the ground, just to be in a position to be certain that nobody, no learner is being buried by what has now become the debris or the class that went down this morning. So several efforts, the human effort going on there to be sure to rescue as many as possible. And we do not know the number of victims or learners that have been affected, those who've been injured. But what we know is that they are being stabilized while others are being taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital. We go back to the scene for just momentarily.
Nani anaongea? Gituku. Anaongea tu. Ana break. Na break. Weka kodi hapo. Oje baba. Oje. Moja moja. Shika paka hii.
All right, in case you're joining us now, we're live from Ngong Road, where we understand that a school has collapsed a few minutes ago. Actually, this morning, that is a Precious Talent Top School, that the wall that was on the other side went down and collapsed. And what we know so far is that there have been 5 learners who've been taken to hospital. The St. John ambulance says that they are in critical condition and they have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital. Just coming to terms with the impact of that. Once again, 5 learners have been taken to hospital. That is the Kenyatta National Hospital, and St. John ambulance says that they are in critical condition. As you can see on the screen, the responders there continue to cope through the rumble, or what you may call debris, as they try to rescue would-be learners who may be trapped inside there. Until this moment, what we know so far, like I said, is that 5 learners so far have been confirmed by St. John ambulance to have been taken to hospital in critical condition. We wait to see how many more will be rescued, even as we plan to talk to the St. John ambulance representative on location to bring us to speed on how far they have gone in as far as the rescue mission is concerned, how far they are in taking charge of going to account for the learners who were in that classroom. We do not know how many learners the 2-story building was accommodating at the time that it went down. We do not know how many made way to escape from the scene, but what we know for certainty from, as confirmed by the St. John ambulance, is that 5 learners have been taken to hospital in critical condition after being stabilized on the scene as the response continues. You can see the members of the public joining the professionals from the St. John ambulance as well as the Kenya Red Cross getting to go through the debris to seek whether there are any learners trapped in there. So we continue to focus on this story as we wait to speak to a representative of the St. John ambulance in as far as this is concerned. We also understand that as soon as this happened this morning, there has been parents going to the scene. That parents have been rushing to the Precious Talent Primary School on Ngong Road, Nairobi, after the classroom collapsed. This according to Teddy, who works at Hot 96. Of course, the information that we are getting is that the parents, you can see there, the responders getting to retrieve some of the books, the bags of the learners who had already made their entry into the classroom, being a Monday morning, only to turn out to this. So we'll be sure to see how many more. That would appear like probably the back of the classroom, where the learners would usually put their bags carrying the books, and then they can sit on the lockers, as usual, how a classroom would be arranged. So in as far as how many victims, an indicator may come from the number of bags that are still inside that classroom. It may give an indication of how many learners were in the class, but of course we'll be seeking to also speak to the management of the school, that is to give us a point of view from the Precious Talent Top School, how many learners were in the classrooms housed by the 2-story building that came down this morning.
Hello. Video nakutumia. Nakutumia video WhatsApp.
Utashughulikiwa tafadhali. Utashughulikiwa. Wote kabisa usiku hapa. Usijali madam, utashughulikiwa. Wewe enda tu. Enda tu kidogo. Enda utasimama. Usimsonge nyuma. Nani vijana? Kuja upande hii. Kuja upande hii tuweke beki hapa.
As you're still watching Daybreak, the breaking news on your screen. A classroom collapses in Nairobi. That is Precious Talent Top School in along Ngong Road. What we know so far is that the classroom collapsed, or the building, the two-story building collapsed after a wall at the side went down. And so far what you're seeing on your screen, responders getting to try as much as possible to come through the debris that is of course the after effect of the collapse, and trying to rescue as many as possible. We're just trying to look at the information that you're receiving so far and reconcile it. What we know so far from the St. John ambulance is that 5 students or pupils have already been rescued and taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital. When you look at what the Kenya Red Cross is saying is that the classroom with pupils inside collapses at a school along Ngong Road, Nairobi. The Red Cross and EMS Kenya response teams are at the scene, and the latest from EMS's E-Plus ambulances are saying that 4 have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital by the E-Plus ambulances after being stabilized. And of course, the exercise continues to ensure to try as much as possible to rescue the number of learners that are in that classroom. We so far don't have any information on how many learners were in class, but understandably we've seen a number of school bags that have been taken from the scene. The responders getting to move them away. You could count quite a number of school bags that would indicate the number of learners that were inside the classroom. But you see, trying to get hold of the management of the school, even as they go through this very trying moment, just to give us an account of how many learners had already made their way into the classroom, how many learners are occupied, or rather accommodated inside the 2-story building, and what sort of impact has befallen them. Again, 5, according to the St. John ambulance, have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital, but according to the Kenya Red Cross, who are retweeting what the E-Plus ambulances are saying, is that 4 pupils have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital via the E-Plus ambulances. That's the information that we have so far. But efforts to rescue as many as possible continue. You can see on the screen so many members of the public appearing or hitting the call to be together with humanity to rescue as many as possible, trying to do their bit. We've seen several of them getting to come through the debris, albeit manually getting to remove the debris on them, just to be in a position to see if there are any persons or any learners that have been trapped inside there. We're still trying to get a hold of the people on the ground to give us an update on the progress so far made. You can see officials of the Kenya Red Cross getting to communicate with the members of the public that are there to be in a position to give the assistance that they have in as far as this is concerned. So we'll be sure to get more information as soon as we can. We're also getting information from our reporter, Eric Owenga, who works for Radio Citizen. He's telling us of certain casualties. We'll be sure to confirm how many have lost their lives. We do not have a confirmation on that, but we have an indication that some may have lost their lives. And it is reported that the classes that crumbled down were housing junior pupils, and those who were affected, 6, 7, and 8 classes of precious talent. So we can see there Principal Secretary Belio Kipsang on the ground. This is the Principal Secretary for Basic Education. He is there to assess the situation that has befallen a precious talent at top school that went down this morning. So rescue operations are being led by the Kenya Red Cross, and the number of the dead, the sources are saying that is likely to go up since there are other feared to still be trapped inside the debris. And like I said, the Principal Secretary is there. Eric Owenga, our report on the ground, is telling us that there could be some casualties, people who've lost their lives. We're waiting to verify the number of those as soon as we have. All right, and we want to speak to our report on the ground, that is Nganga Njoroge. Nganga, good morning. Of course, very sad news coming from Precious Talent Top School. What have you been able to see? Umepata nini katika tukio hilo? Ni wanafunzi wangapi walikuwa katika madarasa yenyewe, na ni wangapi umeweza kuathirika kwa jinsi ya kupata majeraha, na iwapo kuna wale ambao tunaambiwa kwamba kuna taarifa kuna wanafunzi ambao wamepoteza maisha yao? Unaweza kutupa taarifa kuhusiana na swala hilo?
Naam, asante sana Sam, na bila shaka napata kwa hiyo safi kabisa kutoka eneo la mkasa. ni hapa katika barabara ya Gongo katika shule ya msingi ya kibinafsi ya Precious Talent, ambapo kufikia sasa tunapaswa kwamba wanafunzi kama watatu hivi wameweza kupoteza maisha yao asubuhi ya leo katika mkasa ambao ulitokea mida ya saa 1 hivi. Na hapa afahamu kuweza kutupatia vile hali ilivyokuwa, niko na moja kati ya wazazi wa shule hii aweze kutuelezea vile ambavyo hali ilivyotokea na labda kufikia sasa shughuli za uokoaji zimefika wapi. Labda hujambo na shukrani kwa kuzungumza na runinga ya Citizen. Labda utueleze hali imekuwaje na nini ambacho kilitokea mida ya asubuhi.
Hali ilikuwa tulileta watoto hospitali, watoto mapema sana. By 6:50 ndio hii mjanga kapotea, ikatokea 6:50 ndio hii shule iliweza kuboromoka. Sasa wazazi wakapigia simu wakakuja ndio sana. Watoto ni wengi waliingia, lakini hatujui ni kiasi gani.
Labda sasa mmeweza kupata hali kamili ya wanafunzi ambao huenda wamepoteza maisha yao na vile idadi ya majeruhi kufikia ni ngapi?
Haiwezi kujulikana saa hii. Haiwezi kujulikana. Tulikuwa tunatoa tukipeana wakipeleka mpaka tujui ni wangapi.
Naam, kama ulivyosikia Sam, ni kwamba idadi kamili ingali haijulikani, lakini kwa kutoka kuzungumza na baadhi ya wazazi wanatuelezea kwamba kama wanafunzi wakati ambao wameweza kupoteza maisha yao, idadi ya majeruhi ingali haijabainika wazi, huku shughuli za uokoaji zilikuwa zinaendelea, maafisa wa usalama wakiwa wanaungana na wananchi hapa na majirani, na vile idara ya St. John's Ambulance wakisaidiana na maafisa kutoka idara ya kaunti Nairobi kusaidiana angalau kuweza kuokoa maisha ya wanafunzi ambao huenda wakawa wamekwama katika mabaki ya nyumba hili ama madarasa haya ambayo yaliweza kutoka mida ya asubuhi mapema. Sam
That is Nganga Njoroge. We are having challenges with his audio, but we will be sure to correct it so that we are able to hear him clearly. But he was there speaking to one of the parents who've reported to the school, getting to understand, come to terms with what has happened this morning. We have seen the Principal Secretary, Belio Kipsang, on the ground, indicating that the government response is already on the ground. They are there to witness the rescue mission going on. I just want to take a recap of what information that we know so far. We understand that there could be some casualties from the incident. In as far as the number is concerned, we do not know that for certainty. We are still trying to verify the information we have, but also we know that at least 4 learners have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital, and this is information that we are reconciling from what the E-Plus ambulances are tweeting and retweeted by the Kenya Red Cross, indicating that 4 people have been taken to hospital, but the St. John ambulance speaks to us and tells us that 5 have been injured and taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital, all in critical condition. The other information that we have from our reporter Eric Owenga is that it is reported that they crumbled down. The classes were housing junior pupils, and those who were affected 6, 7 and 8 classes of Precious Talent top school. The information is that the incident happened earlier this morning, and as far as the exact time, we're still trying to get clarity on that, but the number of the dead are reported that the number could rise because there's still learners who are still trapped in the debris. In as far as the certainty of that is concerned, you're still waiting to speak to the officials of the Kenya Red Cross as well as the St. John ambulance on the ground, and also we'll be hearing from the Principal Secretary in charge of basic education, that is Dr. Belio Kipsang, to give us an update on what he knows so far. Zinzi.
Exactly. You know, Sam, as we're watching the activities on the ground, folks, as you can see, more cops are on the ground. Earlier on, when we broke this news, majority of the people who were actually removing the debris, as you can see, were residents, are Kenyans, sort of helping the team on the ground from the Kenya Red Cross as well as the ambulance team right there, as you can see. But sadly, I am reminded, Sam, the fact that just this year alone, and last year as well, 2018, we saw a number of buildings having to be brought down. If we were serious about perhaps the quality of our buildings, such scenarios, such incidents will not be happening. There was a time when buildings in Nairobi were earmarked for demolition, and this just now resparks this conversation again in terms of the sort of quality our buildings hold. This is a school, ladies and gentlemen, the Precious Talent Top School along Gong Road, and so far, from what we know, 4 children, 4 learners, 4 pupils have been taken to the Kenyatta National Hospital. Could this have been stopped if the quality of our buildings were a bit more proper?
Right, and the latest from the school, Precious Talent Top School. We will be speaking to Eric Owenga, our reporter, shortly on phone to give us an update of what we know. So, Eric, good morning. I have seen some information that you're sharing with us. Can you bring us to speed on the number of casualties, if you have any confirmation so far? How many have lost their lives? How many have been taken to hospital? And more importantly, how many learners were in that classroom that we are still trying to look for this morning?
Thank you very much, Sam Bituku. According to the scanty information that is gathered from this place here, because even the police officers who are right now trying to undertake the rescue operation here, they have not spoken with us. But what I can tell you so far, we can authoritatively confirm 2 people, all 2 people have been confirmed dead. That is after the tragedy that happened at around 6 a.m. in the morning. But what I can tell you right now, Sam, is according to the locals who came here in the morning to help in this rescue operation, we were told that at least 30 pupils were injured and have been rushed to the hospital. And even as we speak right now, the operation to retrieve if there is anybody is still underway at this place, because the building was a 2-story building, and we were told that the classes which were really affected in this incident were class 6, 7, and 8, because they were below the class which crumbled down, according to, that is, eyewitnesses and area locals who came in the morning to help in this rescue operation, Sam.
Just for the sake of clarity, did you say that 30 pupils have been taken to hospital?
In fact, it is more than that, because according to information that we've gathered from this place here, the school had more than 200 pupils, and we were told that those who were in the lower classes were on top of the building, and that will mean they were the majority of this school. And even as we speak right now, Sandy took, I think the rescue is still underway. And what I can tell you is that those who were taken to the hospital, there are more than 30. There are more than 30 because this school had at least 200 people.
Right.
As we speak right now,
Right, and Eric, yes, even as you tell us about how the class was, the upper floors and the lower floors, what is the material that had constructed this building? Because we are seeing a lot of iron sheets being moved away from the debris, and what exactly led to the situation that we have now?
The component that is comprising of this, the said school, is iron sheet and some wood and also some metal. I think metal was used to erect the building up, and the bigger component of this school is iron sheet, including the all sides of this. I mean, let me say the rooftop is iron sheet, and also the wall is also iron sheet, and yes, and the said classroom that crumbled down was made of iron sheet, and it was erected by metal. And I think due to weight of pupils that were running in the morning from that class, that's why it crumbled down San Bituku. So it was not made of maybe bricks or any sort of stone, but I think it was just iron and wood and metal.
Right. I mean, Eric, this is Zinzi Kibiku here. Just a very quick question for you. Have you had a chance to sort of talk to the school management? Has the school management said any word so far?
Okay, right now the school proprietor is here, and we've not got a chance to talk to him, because I think even himself is also under panic based on what happened in the morning. And I think maybe we'll get a time maybe after a while from now, because right now what is happening, people are just trying to see if they can rescue, or if they can also try and comb the rubble in this place here. So with him, I've seen him here, but again, I don't think if he may be able to delve deeper details regarding this school. But again, we'll push him harder to ensure that we get maybe, if at all, the school really achieves the requirement as per the Ministry of Education in terms of construction. Because right now, as we speak, also the Principal Secretary for Education, Bello Kipsang, is also here. That will mean they also have to do some maybe assessment, and also we will also be giving us maybe the way forward regarding the today's incident, Sangituku and victims.
Okay, all right, Eric, we thank you so much. Please continue to look for more information in as far as what's happening. But you can see on your screen that there has been members of the public, I believe some of them are parents. Let's just listen into what's happening there. Unfortunately, it's such an emotional situation. I am not certain about that, but...
Na anafanya nini hapa, si abebwe? Mamake ameitambua, babake amemtambua, anafanya nini na yeye hapa? Mwenye shule mweke ndani. Si kuanza kupiga watu hapa. Hizo nguvu anatumia, angetafuta mwenye shule mweke ndani. Mweke ndani. Anakuja mapema. Si unasema mapema. Anakuja hapa saa moja. Hata hapo
All right, and the images on your screen, you'd see several members of the public, some of them being parents who have learners at the school. Right, so the parents, some of them are parents of the Precious Talent Top School that have reported to the school and the unfortunate incidences of coming to terms with what's transpiring in the school. According to a reporter, Eric Owenga tells us that from what they have been able to witness, at least 30 pupils have been injured and taken to hospital. According to the A-Plus ambulances, they are saying that they have taken 4 pupils to the Kenyatta National Hospital. There was a tweet that they released quite a while back, a couple of minutes ago. According to the Kenya Red Cross, on what they said on Twitter is that 4 people had been taken to hospital, but the St. John ambulance speaks to us confirming about 5, but our reporter Eric Owenga tells us that from his count more than 30. But some more information is that we understand that the school, Precious Talent Top School, has more than 200 pupils, and therefore the tragedy that has hit that school might be higher than what we know. But in as far as the rescue operation continues, we have no official confirmation on how many people they have been in a position to rescue, take to hospital, and as the unaccounted for the